Greetings, friends, and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I am your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I use nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body, you are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health challenge. That is why we are here. Every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 3 decades plus of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes, hypertension, obesity, skin diseases like psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, acne, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle, but what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure, because the human biological system is a healing and regenerating system. It's designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis, and while that may seem like a miracle to some folks, this renewing system is really nothing more than just the way the body works. Greetings, friends. Good morning, and thanks for joining us on The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number on The Bright Side. 844-236-6010. If you have questions about anything we're speaking about here today, the longevity products, longevity business, health challenges you or a loved one may be dealing with, or, of course, if you have a success story you'd like to share, if you just want to comment on the conversation or add to the conversation, 844-236-6010. is our number on The Bright Side. We love hearing from you. 866-735-2470 is the phone number for the Bright Side Ben team. 866-735-2470. And you can purchase longevity products by going to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. Or even better, if you want to sign up to join the Bright Side Ben team, if you're an entrepreneur and you're health inclined, if you like the stuff we talk about here on this program every day and you want to be part of the team, you can sign up to join the Bright Side Ben team for a one-time $30 fee. Be in business for yourself and earn all the benefits associated with having your own business, as well as helping spread the word about the power of a good nutritional supplement program. I've been part of the longevity family now for over 20 years, almost since the very beginning, and I cannot tell you how much help and how much the kind of benefit that we give people, that longevity gives people, the ideas, the products. And if that sounds good to you, if you want to be part of an organization that helps change lives, and if you want to make some money at the same time, please think about joining the Bright Side Ben team. You can sign up right off our websites, brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com, or call 866-735-2470. Also, you want to take a look at our Truth Nourishment page, truthnourishment.com. We've got various health products up at truthnourishment.com, and also our skin health products at truthtreatments.com. Have Valentine's Day specials coming up. They should be up today or tomorrow, our Valentine's Day special. I think we've got a 20% off deal with the free Valentine's gift bag at truthtreatments.com. Never any preservatives, fragrances, fillers, waxes, emulsifiers, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products, which are all available at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. All right, so we've been getting a little airy-fairy here. I own up to that. I like talking about airy-fairy stuff as a healthcare professional. I think you have to. I don't think it's fair to be a healthcare professional and not address. And I say airy-fairy, of course I'm being facetious, because really mind-body is not airy-fairy, as we've been saying. We've been talking about the skin. We've been talking about the idea that there are forces at play when we have skin health issues. I've been in the skincare business since 1983, and nothing makes me more angry than somebody saying, here, just rub this cream on your acne and you'll be all good. That's the way the skincare business has evolved. Just rub this cream on and hope for the best. Well, we know, if you've been listening to this program, you know different. You know that the nutrition and diet and digestion play a major role in how the skin shows up. And as it turns out, mind and body are related, and there is a mental aspect to how the skin shows up. And really, for all health issues, there's a mental aspect to all health issues show up. But we're talking about the skin, and I love talking about the skin because it's representative of the rest of the body. The skin is an extension of the brain. Both are organs of perception. Skin is an organ of perception of the outside world. The skin is like a satellite for the brain. It tells the brain what's happening in the outside world. So it should come as no surprise that the skin is going to be responsive to brain chemicals. It's going to be responsive to dopamine. It's going to be responsive to serotonin. It's going to be responsive to oxytocin. It's going to be responsive to endorphins. These are all molecules of emotion, as Candace Pert calls them, molecules that determine how we feel that come out of the brain. The brain perceives the world, and it secretes molecules of emotion. Those molecules of emotion affect the skin. There is a major link between the brain and the skin. The skin is a satellite for the brain. It tells the brain what's happening on the outside world. In fact, the skin is actually a type of brain. The skin is an information processor, like the brain. That's what the brain is. It's an information processor on the outside of the body. The skin is an information processor on the outside of the body. In fact, all membranes are brains. Bruce Lipton talks about this. The membrane is the brain of the cell. It's not the gene that's the brain of the cell. It's not the nucleus that's the brain of the cell. Probably this doesn't come as a surprise to you guys, but for most people it comes as a surprise. I bet if you did a survey of the average person who didn't know much about health or nutrition, the average layperson, and you ask them, what is the cell of the brain? They'll tell you the nucleus. That's what most people think. That's what we learned in high school. But it's not. It's the membrane. The membrane is the brain. The membrane is where the magic happens, always. The membrane of an organ, the membrane of a cell, is where information comes from the outside and gets turned into stuff on the inside. All membranes are brains, and the skin is the body's most important, or at least the body's largest membrane. Probably the most important membrane, but certainly the largest membrane. Actually, you know what? The intestine is probably the largest membrane. The skin is the second largest membrane. And the intestinal membrane is a brain too. And there's a lot of relationship between the intestine and the skin. They're both membranes. The skin is a membrane that interprets the outside world, and the intestine is a membrane that interprets the inside world. So this connection between the skin and the brain begins in the womb. If you study embryology, which is the study of how the embryo develops, you know that the skin is derived from the same layer of cells that the brain is. And from that point forward, the skin and the brain are connected. The skin is derived from what's called the ectoderm, and the brain is also derived from the ectoderm. These are layers of the embryo that give rise to all the organs. When the embryo is developing, which is beyond miraculous, I don't even know how to describe that phenomena, how the embryo turns into a fully formed human being. My God, there is so much miraculous stuff that's going on in the body that we are completely oblivious of, or at least we don't respect and honor. How an embryo develops inside a womb is beyond miraculous, and one of the things that happens is when the sperm meets the egg, a whole biochemical process is initiated that turns that combination, it's called a zygote, when the sperm meets the egg, it turns that zygote into some kind of entity with layers, three main layers, and each of those layers gives rise to the organs. The layers that give rise to the brain are the same. The layer that gives rise to the brain is the same layer that gives rise to the skin. And from that point forward, the skin and the brain are connected. They're linked. As I say, the skin functions as a satellite of the brain. So it should come as no surprise that there is a major, if unfortunately underappreciated, relationship between the beauty of our skin, how beautiful our skin is, how healthy our skin is, I should say, because beauty is secondary to health. There's a major relationship between the health and the beauty of our skin and our brain, and how we perceive the world, how our conscious minds perceive the world, how our conscious minds are thoughts, so how we think is going to affect our skin, and also, as we said yesterday, and I'm not done talking about this, how our unconscious mind, how our subconscious minds affect our skin. Our conscious mind is the thoughts we have, and our subconscious mind is the thoughts we have that we don't know we have, that we're not aware of. And both are going to show up on the skin because of this link between the skin and the brain. And we marginalize our thoughts, and we marginalize our subconscious minds at our own peril. Subconscious minds, or unconscious minds, really control our lives in such a major, major way that if we're going to be healthy, if we're going to maximize our 120 years of life, if we're going to get to 120 years, we've got to understand what's going on underneath our awareness. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll continue on the bright side right after this. 844-236-6010 is our number, and we do have lines open for you. We'll be back right away after this. And we're back on the bright side. I'm Pharmacist Ben. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. If you want to purchase longevity products, call 866-735-2470 or head to brightsideben.com, pharmacistben.com, or criticalhealthnews.com. You can purchase longevity products and sign up to join the Brightside Ben team off the websites or by calling 866-735-2470, 866-735-2470. Our number today, 844-236-6010. As always, 844-236-6010. We love hearing from you, and we do have lines open for you. We'll get your calls in our next segment. We're talking about the skin and the mind-body connection. The skin is an extension of the brain. This connection between the skin and the brain begins very early in the womb. Once the egg is fertilized by the sperm, an entity called a zygote is formed. The zygote divides and forms layers. The endoderm, the mesoderm, and the ectoderm. These three layers ultimately give rise to all the different organs of the body. The endoderm is where you get the digestive system. The mesoderm becomes the muscle and the skeletal system and the connective tissue. And then the ectoderm becomes both the brain, the nervous system in the brain, and the skin. And from that point forward, there's a very important relationship between the brain and the skin that's underappreciated. We don't make that connection, like we don't make the connection between the brain and the rest of the body. The brain can be divided up into the conscious brain and the unconscious brain. You can call it the brain or the mind, I suppose. The brain is the organ. The mind is the process. Mind is actually a verb, minding. Nonetheless, we have a conscious aspect and we have a subconscious aspect. Yesterday we talked about the importance of what's going on underneath our awareness and how becoming aware of what's underneath our awareness is really important. The more you can become aware of what you're unaware of, the more you can bring unawareness into awareness, the healthier and more fulfilled and more content and more actualized your life will be. That is really the real essence of having a good life, is to become aware of your unconscious motivations and your unconscious drives. Yesterday we said there's really no way to know what's in our subconscious minds because by definition we're not aware of it. But what we can do is we can become more aware of what is in our subconscious. We don't know what's driving our behaviors, but we can start to pay attention. We can start to become aware. That's why meditation is so important. Yesterday we talked about how meditation is a tool for becoming aware of the stuff that we are ordinarily unaware of. The forces that make us eat more than we should eat. Why do we eat more than we should eat? Why don't we just stop eating when we're full? Why don't we just eat a couple of bites and then notice we're satisfied and stop? That's what animals do. But we don't do it because we're driven by our subconscious. We're eating for subconscious reasons. We don't know why we're eating. We don't know why we don't exercise even though we want to or we know we should exercise. We don't know why we're sad or depressed even though we want to be happy. We don't know why we have anxiety even though we want to be at peace. In other words, if we're feeling something, sadness, or we're doing something, drinking, smoking, eating, that we can't stop doing or we can't stop feeling even though we consciously want to feel better or consciously want to be happier or consciously want to quit smoking or consciously want to quit whatever, drinking or whatever our habits are, you can rest assured there are subconscious drivers that are overriding the conscious desires. This is why in Alcoholics Anonymous, which I love, the 12-step program, AA is awesome. Not that I'm in it or anything, but I love the idea of it. But in AA, they tell addicts they're always going to be addicts. And this is why when you quit something, you're only really quitting temporarily for the most part. You always have to kind of fight the habit. And recidivism is really high. AA and quitters, Alcoholics Anonymous patients, I guess, people who are in Alcoholics Anonymous, are only temporarily successful, and they have to keep reminding themselves that they're quitting because they're not addressing the subconscious drivers. I love AA, but it doesn't address the subconscious drivers. People in AA are just muscling through. And you can work sometimes. You can muscle through an addiction, and you can fight it every day. But that's a lot of work. And that's why in AA you always have a coach. You always have somebody you're calling. You always have someone, whenever you have the urge to drink, you call this person. And as soon as a stressor comes in, if you quit smoking, you know what I'm talking about. If you quit drinking, you know what I'm talking about. If you quit caffeine, you know what I'm talking about. As soon as a stressor comes in that's severe enough, you are going to start drinking again. You're going to start smoking again. Or at least you're going to have a powerful urge to do that. You've got to call your coach. You've got to fight it. You can muscle through it. You can quit with willpower, no doubt about it. Psychological muscle can work, and many people do it that way. But it's hard, and many people don't do it that way. If you can figure out what the subconscious drivers are, what's going on in your programming, in your operating system that's compelling you to smoke or drink or sit on the couch when you should be exercising or eat foods that we know are bad for us, it's going to be much easier to eliminate unproductive habits and begin to choose to live and to make life choices in a more productive way. And by the way, I'm not saying this like I'm better than anybody. I'm just as guilty as anybody else. I'm just as weak-willed as anybody else. I'm not preaching here or being holier than thou. This is the human condition that we're confronted with. We're driven by subconscious drivers. We're driven by subconscious aspects that were stuck into us when we were infants and that are pounded into us over and over and over again. We're bombarded with cues and motivation drivers that we don't know about. And it started before we had any control. And by the way, this is why affirmations don't really work. This is why using the law of attraction can be so frustrating. The law of attraction is just science. Things get attracted to each other. There's nothing fancy, schmancy, new age, or weird about the law of attraction, but a lot of people say it doesn't work. A lot of people say it's frustrating. It's because if you say you want to attract health, you say you want to attract money, you say you want to attract a romantic relationship, but you're attracting sickness and you're attracting poverty and you're attracting loneliness, it's not because the law of attraction doesn't work. It's because saying it is on top. Saying it is the consciousness. Saying it is in your conscious awareness, which is the tip of the iceberg, but there's forces underneath that are at play that are 90% of the iceberg. If you consciously want something, but you're getting the opposite, you're somehow sending the universe mixed messages. And because there's way more subconscious power than there is conscious power, you got a whole lifetime of subconscious drivers, it's very unlikely that you're going to be successful if you're not addressing your subconscious drivers. And then there's the body itself. We can observe the body itself to see what our subconscious drivers are. Candace Pert, the body is the subconscious mind. The body is the manifestation of the subconscious mind via the molecules of emotion, which are unconscious to us. We don't know we have these molecules of emotions being secreted. But our bodies show up that way. You can look at your body and you can assess what your subconscious drivers are. You can look at your body, which is the end result of molecules and molecular forces that are initiated unconsciously, and you can observe what's happening. The body is like a mirror of the unconscious mind. Our bodies, the specific molecules, the neurotransmitters, the peptides, and the hormones, they are the physical control point for cell behavior. It's not the genes. It's not the past. This whole idea of genetics is so disempowering and so unfair because what it says is you're locked in. You can't change it. But today we know that epigenetic factors control genes, and there is no more important epigenetic factors than belief, than unconscious ideas and how we perceive the world. Read The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. All right. I love Bruce Lipton, by the way. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. We'll return right after this. We're back on The Bright Side. I am Pharmacist Ben, and we're on the air Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, and 10 to 11 Central Time, 24/7 on the archive page at brightsideben.com. You can purchase longevity products at brightsideben.com, also pharmacistben.com, and criticalhealthnews.com. We have news stories, blog posts, videos, lots of good health information, all free at criticalhealthnews.com. Thank you to Jonty Collier for setting that up, and also at pharmacistben.com. Thank you to Robert Lundgren for setting that up. And then also you can purchase our skin health products at truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Make sure you take a look at our specials, Valentine's Day specials, which should be up today. If they're not up today, they'll be up tomorrow. We've got 20% off specials. If you haven't tried Truth Skin Health products, you don't know what you're missing. Never any fillers, waxes, preservatives, fragrances, silicone, oil, water, nothing your skin doesn't need or doesn't want in any of our Truth Skin Health products. Also, take a look at truthnourishment.com for our vegetarian coconut milk powder, our Vital Zyme products. for the cardiovascular system and for the digestive system, and our herbal blends. We got a menopause herbal blend, a yeast balance herbal blend, yellow dock extract, all kinds of really cool health products. I think we've got, now that I think about it, we've got Kaz Ingram coming on tomorrow, and he's always got good stuff to say and good stuff to sell as well. I think we'll have some of Kaz's products up, hopefully, at truthnourishment.com in the next couple of days as well. All right. 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open for you. We're getting a little bit out in the weeds, but that's what I like. That's what I'm about. You know, nutrition's great. I'm a chemist. I love molecular biology, and I love chemistry and biochemistry. But I also love the more abstract ideas, because I think if we're really going to be serious about health and wellness, which I am, if we're really going to be serious about helping people with their health, which I am, if we're really going to be serious about leveraging longevity and having a fully actualized life and a really full life and a happy life and a content life, we have to talk about these more abstract woo-woo kinds of ideas. And it's unfair to really marginalize them as woo-woo. From the San Diego University of California San Diego School of Medicine, loneliness rivals smoking and obesity in its impact on shortening longevity. Yes, it turns out that loneliness is like smoking. It's like obesity. What is loneliness? We just feel alone. It's a feeling. It's a mental, cognitive, and an emotional state. Researchers interviewed 30 adults ranging in age from 67 to 92 as part of a study of physical, mental, and cognitive functions of older adults. And 85% of participants revealed that they experienced moderate to severe loneliness. This is especially problematic as we get older because older folks are marginalized. They're stuck outside. I'm not that old. I'm 60. I'll be 60. And I feel it. The world is designed for 28-year-olds, for millennials. And once you get older, you become kind of irrelevant. There's a really cool YouTube video I was watching over the weekend about a guy who's 97 years old. He's a philosopher. I forgot his name, but he's a philosopher, and he's 97 years old, and he had some very interesting philosophical perspectives about being 97. And one of the things he said is he's separated. He feels lonely. Loneliness will increase your cortisol, will jack up your cortisol, and that will shorten your life and make you feel miserable. There's lots of ways to deal with loneliness in an effective and a productive and a non-medical way. First of all, feeling separate from others is the result of seeing others as being different. We see others as being different, so we feel isolated. If we see others feeling different, if we see others as being different, we're going to feel different. If we see others as being similar, we're going to feel connected. You can become curious about other people. Ask them about themselves. Conversation starters are things like when you ask other people about themselves. Do you like hamburgers or hot dogs? Do you like chocolate or vanilla? Ask other people about themselves. You connect with them. Be brave. Put yourself out there. That's one of the biggest problems. Is we're scared to put ourselves out there. If you want a stronger connection with other people, take charge. Take the lead. Put yourself out there. Especially if you're older. Older folks have so much to say. Older folks are living history. Share your experience with others. Share your living history with others. All right. 844-236-6010 is our number. You're listening to The Bright Side. Let's hit the phones and talk to our friend Lydia. What's up, Lydia? Good morning.
Hi, Ben.
Now you're a regular. Thank you.
Yep.
Love it.
I really do want to be a regular.
I love it.
It's a good focus. And I just wanted to let you know that since our talk Friday, which was just a few days ago, I just wanted to say that I have meditated now every day since then.
Yeah.
And I've already had an amazing outcome already, which I want to share with you.
Yeah. Tell me.
I just wanted to say that just being aware of everything in your life, and by doing that, it just happens during the day, not just when you're doing it. Because I'm really seeing that, and it brought me to actually going to a meditation circle with eight women, and I got to see this woman, lead this group, and it was just so awesome. This was last night, and it's like I could do that. I mean, that's something that like you said, you could teach meditation, like that's what you said, and that's a thought I could do. I'm not there, of course, and not near
You're
there
pretty
yet,
close.
But,
You're closer than you think.
I'm not there yet, but I'm going to be there soon.
You're closer than you think, Lydia. You're closer than you think.
I
That's
do want to tell the listeners, because I've been listening to you since 2011, and wow. I didn't meet you till like 12, I think 2012 or 13. I don't remember exactly. I have to look it up. But anyway, the point is that I've loved you since I've heard you on the. I used to make people listen to you before I met you. I'm just saying, I used to have people listen to you because I just thought you were awesome. So I did recognize. I mean, there's a lot of me in you, like you said. I mean, I totally get it. I mean, what you were saying to me, and what you said today, I just wanted to say is awesome. And yesterday, and that your guest was awesome yesterday. And I really want people to see the value in what you're, teaching us now regarding this, because it really is about health. And I want to explain that I've known since I was in the 80s, okay? I'm in my 50s, okay? And by the way, when you turn 60, you might as well say you're turning 50, because that's truly, the oldest you look. I'm just saying, I mean, and it's because of your health and your attitude and what you bring around you. And I'm the same way. I'm 10 years younger, not just because of what I eat or, it does help. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that out. I'm getting excited. Let me just say that I've known about meditation since the 80s, and I knew the value of it, but I never did it. I just knew about it, and I've tried many times, but because of my fast, quick brain, it doesn't. Right. I just wasn't able to do it. And one of the things I tried doing was I used to have my cat on my lap. Would do it 15 minutes a day, and that helped a little bit. And that's somebody you could tell people that they can try that if they have trouble meditating.
Looking at a cat, even just looking at a cat, watching a cat will put you in an alpha state because they move so slowly. Just watching your cat. Hey, we got to take a break, but I want you to finish up. Gather your thoughts. We got about 2 or 3 minutes. Gather your thoughts, and then we'll finish up when we come back. Thanks, Lydia. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lots of lines open for you, and we'll be back on the break side right after this. On the bright side, talking to my friend Lydia. Let's get you up here. Hey, Lydia.
Hey. Okay. Well, I just wanted to thank you for helping me with that, because you said it in such a simple way how to meditate, and that simplicity really did hit me, and it was able for me to just do it. And that's awesome. And I've had magical things happen already to me, and that life is that way. I'm sure when we're in tune, everybody can experience things like that are magical. Yes. Down to a stupid parking space. I mean, even a parking space. Your beliefs. It just have to watch your beliefs in life, and I'm telling you, it's part of good health. This is why what you're doing is the right thing to do. You really. I've listened to you all these years, except 1 year I skipped, just 2015, but that's because I was doing it for good health. It was just what I needed to do. All right. But anyway, I'm just telling you that I want to be healthy and happy like everybody does, and it's part of it. It's absolutely part of it. This our mental, our emotional, and our spiritual. It's just all adds up. You got to have your own radio show now, Lydia. Hey, right, Lydia, I'm going to let you go here. Last thing I want to tell you though, that which you're not is what you're in. That which you think you're not is what you're in the process of becoming. You get that? Okay. I'll rewind that a few times. Rewind. That which you think you're not. You don't think, if you think you're not good enough or spiritual enough or smart enough or pretty enough is what you're in the process of becoming, because you wouldn't notice it unless you already were thinking that way. So that what you're not is what you're in the... I'm not there yet, but I'm becoming there. And you're becoming it. That what you think you're not, you're in the process of becoming. All right, Lydia, have a beautiful day. Thanks for sharing all that. That was really cool. Thank you. Sure. Right. Take care. That's my friend Lydia. I've known her for a long time. I appreciate that. And listen, you guys, it's not that difficult. We're talking about meditation to take one example. Focus on a part of your body. Bingo. You'll be meditating. Focus on your breathing. You'll be meditating. Personally, I like focusing on spirituality. Focus on God. Focus on your thoughts. You ever wonder what a thought is? We think these things 50,000, 60,000 times a day. We have a thought.
Does anybody know what a thought is? Where does a thought come from? Where does it go? There's so much mystery that's involved in being a human being, and we go about our lives, about our daily lives, and doing things as normal, and we don't ever pay attention to the unbelievable mystery and magical nature of what it is to be alive and what life itself is. Just focus on that, and you'll be in an alpha state, a meditative state. All right, 844-236-6010 is our number. Got lines open. We're talking to John in Kansas. Good morning, John. What's up?
Hey, good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
I have a couple of things. One, I love your reference to being in the weeds.
You like me? You like it in the weeds?
Unfortunately, one of the weeds that the farmers consider to be invasive on the cropland is amaranth.
Is what?
Amaranth.
Amaranth. Okay, gotcha.
BASF is trying to eradicate it.
They're trying to eradicate amaranth.
Yes, they're not. They're no longer going to manage it. They're going to try to eradicate it.
Amaranth, the grain amaranth. Amaranth is actually a bunch of different types of grains, but they've been cultivated forever. Since human beings began. Since human history began, I should say.
I hear you. Palmer amaranth and water hemp.
And what else?
Palmer amaranth and water hemp are two varieties that they've specifically named.
How do you know so much about amaranth?
It's one of our supplements and one of the foods that we use for
Gotcha.
smoothies.
Are you a farmer? Are you a farmer in Kansas?
No, we're holistic nutritionists, and
nice.
We have a health ministry.
Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Are you online? Do you have a website?
It's just a Facebook page.
Give it a plug. I'm going to get on it myself. What is it?
Fire Sign Quantum Health.
Fire Sign Quantum Health. Are you the guy that calls me periodically? Is that you, John?
Yeah.
So we talk about quantum stuff, right? Is that you that I've talked to before?
Right.
Ah, I gotcha. Okay, so you knew what's that guy's name? Bartlett? What's that guy's name who wrote the book Quantum Touch? Is that you I was talking to? Richard Bartlett, I think his name is Richard.
Richard.
I forgot his last name too, but we talked about him. I talked about him with you. Is it Gordon?
Richard Gordon.
Okay, you and I have talked about him in the past, right? That was you?
Exactly.
Gotcha, I know who you are. Okay, so tell me about amaranth now. I don't understand. That's a grain. Why are they treating it like a weed?
It's so prolific and invasive that it's interfering with the industrial factory farm crop.
Oh my goodness! Oh, it's such a wonderful plant, amaranth.
Yeah, exactly. So, from an energetic perspective, I want to tell you that this week is National Handwriting Week.
Okay.
And tomorrow, John Hancock's birthday is National Handwriting Day. I'm also a handwriting analyst, and I can tell you that I can see the aura and the chakra energy functioning or dysfunctioning in the handwriting samples that I see.
That's very, very interesting. Can you give what are a couple things that you look for, or is it more intuitive?
No, if there are distorted or corrugated or shakiness in the writing, depending upon where it is in the writing, will indicate the lower, the middle, or the upper part of the body. I can see damage to the brain or the spine or the intestines or the legs or the feet. If there's extra dots in the line of writing that don't belong there, because when you write, your heart's beating, and if it stays there, the pen or pencil or whatever you're using to write with stays in the line of writing for just a millifraction of a second longer, it will deposit extra writing material on the writing surface, and that indicates a place in the body where there could be dysfunction.
Well, that is very, very fascinating. Were you listening? I had a gal named Misty. I forgot Misty's last name. She was a handwriting gal too, and she did handwriting analysis. Were you listening when I had her on?
I believe so. Yes, and I love your guests that you interview. That's just been a fascinating study for us, both my wife and I.
The guests?
Oh, I love your guests that you interview.
Oh, I appreciate that. So you don't think this is too far out in the weeds? Then I appreciate that, because I'm like you. That's what I like talking about. You know, I mean, nutrition's cool, and obviously you can do great things with diet and digestion and nutrition. But these are these ideas that we don't talk a lot about our consciousness and our awareness and our thought processes, and they're so powerful, and we don't address those.
Well, you mentioned SMAP, spiritual, mental.
SMAP. Yes.
Yeah. We add energy to that. We added a fifth element.
Okay. Oh, energy.
Yeah, because it's all everything happens in the energetic field.
I love it.
Before
I love it.
I
love it. That's like a unifying element between SMAP for SMAP. It's all energy, right? Spiritual energy, mental energy. Yeah.
You can't do that and treat supplements and food like an allopath.
That's how people like to do it. What vitamin do I take for this? What nutrient? I call this for that, and I have a problem with it. And unless you have a frank deficiency where you're completely not getting any vitamin C, for example, or no iodine, for example, it's going to be very difficult to address your health challenges with just supplements. You've got to do it on all the different levels. And that's why if we're serious about health and we're serious about wellness and reversing disease, especially if you plateau, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow, especially if you've gotten some supplement. You know how people get on a supplement program and they'll get better and then they'll plateau. They'll just stay there.
Right.
You can rest assured that you're not addressing all the levels. There's other levels, spiritual and mental and emotional, that are at play. But it's always a good idea to work spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. And I'm sorry people think meditation is airy-fairy, because it's just too bad, because it's very, very powerful stuff. To sit still and to kind of place attention on your thought processes. You don't have to stop thinking, by the way. A lot of people have this idea that meditation is about stopping your thoughts. It's not about stopping your thoughts. It's about observing your thoughts. It's a whole different thing. Once you observe your thoughts, it'll dawn on you, eventually anyway, it'll dawn on you that, wait a minute, if I'm observing my thoughts, who am I? I'm not my thoughts. Most people think they're their thoughts. Once we nail down the fact that we are not our thoughts, that we are something that's observing our thoughts, we will transcend our ordinary human perspective and start to go into another place of awareness. And that's really powerful. Once you realize you're not your thoughts, and that's what observing thoughts does. So thank you, John. I really appreciate it. I always appreciate your point of view, and I hope you'll continue to listen and call in. You always got good stuff to say. Got to go, buddy. Thank you so much, John.
All right,
man. Take care. Have a great day. All right, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for listening to The Bright Side. Tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit about this plateau effect that we talked about, and I hope I get to this idea that you can train your autonomic nervous system. We can train these unconscious aspects of us, called autogenic training. And there's things we can do and meditation is actually just one way that we can train our ordinarily unconscious aspects so that we can become aware of them and so that we can actually leverage them. All right, that's it. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Have a wonderful, beautiful, awesome, spectacular day. Thanks for listening to The Bright Side, folks. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.